Let me start with a few thank yous and some introductions. First of all, welcome to all of you who are here, and there are people who are live streaming this. We're live streaming this on our Facebook page, and we're also live streaming this on our website. So welcome to all of you who are here by live stream. And as we usually do, after the meeting, the recording of the meeting will be, a video of the meeting will be put up on our website. So anybody who couldn't be here, if you want to see parts of it again, you'll be able to watch it again. So we'll do that for you as well. So first thing I want to do is thank our sponsors for the meeting. And if our representatives of the sponsors are here, please just wave your hand as I call you out. So our main sponsor is Association Member Benefits Advisors. There they are. I'm going to talk a little bit about them, and then you'll hear from them a little bit later. The New York State and Local Retirement System. Anybody in the room from there? That's our pension system, everybody. Let's thank them and kiss them when we see them. The State Controller's Office, particularly the Office of Unclaimed Funds. Yeah. And let me say a little bit about that, because a couple of people have already said, they've gone online to the Controller's Office and the unclaimed funds part, and they have found money for either themselves or members of their family that could have been, insurance payments or this or that. And when nobody claims them, they sit in the Controller's Office of Unclaimed Funds. So you can go on the Controller's Office website. You can find that. You can put your name in. And if you've got any money coming to you, you can claim it. I really urge you to do that. The New York State Deferred Compensation Plan. Anybody in here? I guess everybody must still, yes? And we have representative organizations from NYSHIP, CVS Caremark, United Healthcare, Anthem, and Carillon. So a good hand for them. Also Emblem Health and Worksite Benefits. President of Worksite Benefits is Candy Marrero. You all know Candy, and she's going to give a presentation a little bit later, too. So that's our sponsors. Thank you so much for making our meeting possible. Now, let me introduce our board members. And if you're here, so I know some of them are on streaming, but if you're here, please stand up. So John Crotty, who's the chair of the New York City chapter, he's streaming, I know that. Roanne DeStito, who's our board member. Alan Dorn. And you're going to hear from Alan a little bit later, too. Tim Elliott. Tim is a board member, also a chair of our Western New York chapter. He's streaming. Tina Farringer. I know she's streaming. Jody Fox is here. Stand up, Jody. Jean Majors, she's streaming. Robert Reynolds is. Jim Rulison is here. I know I saw you. There he is in the back. Darylyn Scheich Osiello, who I think is streaming too. Marcia Schumann, who's streaming. Mary Fry. Has Mary arrived yet? No. Okay, she's on her way. Ed Brown. Is Ed? So Ed is also our treasurer. He's the money guy, really important guy. Bill Barrett. I know Bill's here. Bill? There he is. And Pat Walsh. And there's Pat. Okay. Now, we also have some chapter chairs with us. Again, Jim Rulison, who's the chair of the Capital District chapter. Charlene Lajewski, who's co-chair of Mohawk Valley. Next to her, Jackie Nelson, who's the other co-chair of Mohawk Valley. Jody Fox, who's a co-chair of Rockland Orange. Joanne Kulak, I know you're here because there she is. She's chair of Long Island chapter. Jan Takaranti, who's the chair of Florida East Coast chapter. I saw Jan this morning. There she is. She's in the back. And Carla and Tom Houston, they are co-chairs of Westchester Putnam. There they are, right there. So thank you to all our chapter chairs. They are the ones that help keep our organization going. And we're going to talk a little bit about the chapters in a minute also. Okay, so what we have is the election of officers and board members. And, hold on. Here we go. Okay. So you all received a ballot in the mail, and if you turned it in, that's great. We counted the votes. If you did not turn it in, you'll have the opportunity to vote this morning. So here are the candidates for our board, and some of these folks are renewing these terms, and some of them will be new. Alan Dorn, who is a former executive director, now the interim executive director. So Alan stood up before. Tim Elliott, who chairs the Western New York chapter, he's Zooming. Jody Fox, who's co-chairing the Rockland Orange chapter. Jim Rulison, the chair of the Capital District chapter. Darylyn Scheich Osiello, who is on the Long Island chapter steering committee. Christine Williams, who's on the Capital District chapter steering committee. Christine, are you here? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Hi, Christine. Okay. And Charlene Lajewski, the co-chair of the Mohawk Valley chapter. So, even if you voted previously and sent your ballot in, all those in favor of electing these members to our board, please say aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, congratulations to our new board members. So now I want to take a couple of minutes and talk about a new partnership that we have this year, and you're going to hear a little bit more about this during the main part of the meeting. Association Member Benefits Advisors is an organization that works with organizations like ours, membership organizations, to help increase membership. They do membership development. We made a contract with them to help us increase our membership. As you've heard me talk about before, and I know if you go to chapter meetings, you've heard our chapter chairs talk about it, our membership has been declining. We're not different from other organizations. We have a terrific retention rate. We have an 85% retention rate, which is really excellent. But we still could do more in terms of increasing our membership. So Candy Marrero, who we'll talk to you in a minute, she's our benefits advisor, and she connected us with, we call them AMBA, Association Member Benefits Advisors. They're going to help us do membership development. They're going to recruit new members for us. As you can see, they're helping to sponsor our meeting, so they're getting involved already. And so they are also going to, which I don't want to steal their thunder because they're going to talk about this, but they're going to be offering some really excellent benefits programs, additional benefits programs that you as current members and also new members will be able to take advantage of. So we saw this as a win-win situation, and it will be good for us, it will be good for them. So we're going to partner with them and for the benefit of all of our members, current and to come. So they're going to talk a little bit more about that in a couple of minutes. So the next item on our agenda is a status report on the chapters. Now, the positive news is we have 10 chapters. We have 9 in New York State, 1 in Florida. We used to have 20 or 21. As membership has declined, some chapters have also dissolved. As people get older, as they don't want to be on the steering committee anymore, if they don't want to be in leadership anymore, some chapters have been having trouble getting members to serve on their steering committee. it is so important that you support the chapters, because the chapters are the local level. They are the liaison to the membership between us and the headquarters office and what's going on in your community at the local level. So I'm going to ask Charlene Lajewski to come up. She's the co-chair of the Mohawk Valley chapter. Mohawk Valley has been very, very aggressive in getting new members. So I asked her to come and talk to you about what you can do as individual members to help attract new members. You can use that mic, Charlene. Oh, you can use that mic on that. Yeah.
Hey.
Good morning. I don't know that we have all the answers, but I know that we work a lot on trying to find new members, and we do it through a lot of different things. And we've been averaging 1 to 2 members a month. The last year we got 25 new members over the past year. So I think it could be better, but not bad. So what are some of the things that we do? One of the big things that I think helps to find some of our members, we like to socialize. So we have trips. Some are usually 1 or 2 major trips, a few 3 to 4 day bus trips, and we always have 1 or 2 one-day trips. An example, we always go, it used to be called the Merry-Go-Round Playhouse outside of Ithaca, and it's a bus trip. We go to lunch and we go see a play. We are now exploring Glimmerglass Opera because we had the director come in and speak to us at one of our meetings, and people were very excited about going to see the Glimmerglass Opera. So we're trying to do things like that. I have what I call an elevator speech. And an elevator speech is just 1 or 2 very small things that when I'm talking to people that aren't members, but I know that they were public employees or their husband was public employees, I make the comment, did you realize by state constitution, your union can only negotiate for their active members? Yes, I belong to PEF. I belong to PEF retirees, and I understand that they help us, but they can't do what RPA can do. And I explained, RPA is one of the few organizations that advocate for things that are important to us, to keep our pension, to keep our health benefits, to advocate even for Social Security and Medicare. So I use some kind of a small elevator speech. Most of your communities probably have a community newspaper. I'm not necessarily talking a big newspaper. In the New Hartford area, we have one that's called the Town Crier. And it doesn't cost me anything because it gets mailed out to everybody in the New Hartford area. So when we have a meeting coming up, one of the 4 during the year, or we have a trip coming up, I send it to the Penny Saver, to the Town Crier, and it gets published. So we'll get 3 or 4 people who may not have known about us that is interested in either the one-day trip or the bus trip we're going to take, or the legislative breakfast that we always have in September, and they'll come to see what we're coming about. And we have picked up members from that. The same flyer, I put up on my church bulletin board as I walk into the church. So that's a place you can put it. Or if there's a bulletin board that I happen to be at Price Chopper or Walgreens, if there's a public bulletin board, I tend to put those flyers up there if I'm in that area. Doesn't hurt, doesn't cost me a piece of paper. We do have a Facebook page, which we publish. We just got that started. We learned, and I'm sure she'll talk more about the group pages, which we're going to try to explore. So that's always something. In my letters that I send out to people, because I have basically 4 letters, because I used to do membership and I still help with membership. I had a new member letter, welcome. I'm glad that you joined. And in that, I put the newest flyer for any of the meetings coming up and any of the trips that we've got. So they know, even before they come to a meeting, what our local chapter is doing. I have an expiration letter, because I'll go through quarterly for the people who have not. And in those letters, I'll say, your membership expired on such and such a date. Put an application for them. Put a flyer for whatever meetings we've got and whatever trips we've got coming up. And most importantly is the perspectives. Sometimes we'll pick an employer and send out perspective letters. We got, we heard that you retired. We've got this wonderful organization. And again, application, trips, flyers for our meeting. So that helps a lot. And then I always usually carry a couple applications with me so that when I go to my Red Hats and we're talking about something, I can tell people that are new to me. When I go to my Daughters of the Nile, when I go to Eastern Star, or any other meeting that I belong to, I always have a few applications with me. So if the conversation is able to come up, I can give them something. If I don't have it, I take their name and their address, and then I go home and I send it to them. But those are common things that we do, and it doesn't seem like it a lot, but as people do it, we're averaging 1 or 2 members a month. So I think it's worth trying.
Absolutely. Thank you, Charlene. Okay, so how does all of this relate to all of you individually? Everything that Charlene just described, those activities are created and organized by the steering committee of the chapter. Now, there are officers in the steering committee, secretary, treasurer, and so forth, like with any organization. But it's the steering committee that's made up of members of that chapter who plan these events. So if you have any kinds of special talents, so Charlene mentioned the trips that they organize. If you're a really good organizer, if you've organized trips even for yourself or your family, get involved in your chapter and offer to organize trips that the members might want to go on. If you like to write, if you've written press releases or articles for your local newspaper, or even if you wrote essays in high school, offer your services to the chapter to do media outreach on behalf of your chapter for the activities that are going on. And Charlene's last suggestion, which is something I always do, I always have copies of our application brochure in my purse, in my car, and I always have them with me. So if I meet somebody who is retired or their spouse or their partner is retired, I give them an application, and I do the same thing she does. I take their information and I follow up with them. There are application brochures on the registration table when you came in. Take some with you. when you go, and just keep them with you, and keep in mind that you might meet somebody who could be a member. One of our board members got a message from someone who was not a member because she has a personal Facebook page, and on her Facebook page she notes that she is involved with RPEA. So someone wrote her through her Facebook page and said, please give me some more information, and she did, and he joined. So there's another way of doing outreach that you can do personally, is through your Facebook page if you have that, or social media, whatever social media you happen to be on. So those are just a few suggestions about how you can get involved to help your chapter and also to help RPEA in general. Yes, ma'am, please. Oh, I thought you wanted to say something. Okay, so is there any other business to come before the group, or does anyone have any questions about anything that we have discussed so far? And Charisse has a microphone, so she'll walk around and with the microphone if you have a question. No, everybody's like not quite awake yet? Okay.
And you did that.
Okay, all right. So we'll conclude the business meeting.